Hey ChatGPT, ready to talk about something?
Absolutely, Kurt. What's on your mind?
I'm thinking about my daughter and her generation. She's 23 and about to graduate from university. When I was that age, the life paths before me were pretty clear: career, home, family, etc. I'm worried that those options might be less reachable for the generation coming in now.
It's a valid concern, Kurt. The landscape for young adults today is indeed different from previous generations. Factors like economic changes, technological advancements, and evolving societal norms have reshaped the traditional life paths. The challenges of securing stable careers, affording a home, and other milestones can seem more daunting now. However, this generation also has unique opportunities, like greater access to information, diverse career options, and a more global perspective. It's a mix of challenges and new possibilities. What specific aspects are you most concerned about for your daughter's generation?
Here's the thing. It seems that the constraint that is in place is the ability to meet or even achieve some level of normalcy of life. And this relates to consumption, to be able to have a nice place to live, a decent car to drive, and a nice quality of life. It seems that that's harder or almost impossible to do now, especially if you're living in any big urban center here in the United States or practically anywhere in the world, without extraordinary efforts, extra work, double jobs, being able to having to mortgage your life for decades and decades. It all seems to be tied to consumption. If I could find a way to maybe ease that consumption desire, but yet still have a good quality of life, that might find a path out. What do you think?
You've touched on a key issue, Kurt. The pursuit of a certain standard of living, often tied to consumption, does seem more challenging now. The cost of living in urban centers, for example, has indeed skyrocketed. Balancing the desire for quality of life with the realities of modern economics is tough. Rethinking consumption habits could be a path forward. It aligns well with Stoic principles, focusing on what's essential and finding contentment in simpler, more sustainable lifestyles. This shift can lead to less financial strain and a more fulfilling life that isn't heavily dependent on material possessions. Encouraging such a mindset in young adults like your daughter could help them navigate these challenges with a different perspective, focusing more on life experiences and personal growth rather than material success. Do you think this approach would resonate with Emily and her peers?
Yes, but principally, if they choose a life without children, it seems that adding children into the equation really changes things and brings back that old traditional way of life into bear. For example, with kids, we need to provide a stable home and a place of living, provide for schooling, and all that goes along with that. How do we achieve that end? How do we achieve the end of parenthood in this modern world in that case?
Navigating parenthood in today's world, especially within the context of urban living and modern challenges, requires a blend of traditional values and adapting to new realities. It's about finding a balance. For stability and providing a home, many are exploring alternative living arrangements, like co housing or living in more affordable areas while working remotely. For
Hmm.
education, there's a growing emphasis on diverse learning opportunities, including public, private, charter, and homeschooling, each offering different benefits and challenges. The key might be flexibility and openness to non traditional paths. Parenthood today often involves being creative with resources, seeking community support, and prioritizing what's truly important for the family, like quality time and emotional well being over material standards. It's about making informed choices that align with personal values and the realities of the modern world. This approach can still uphold the essence of providing a nurturing environment for children while adapting to the changing landscape. It's a challenging yet potentially rewarding journey. What are your thoughts on adapting these traditional roles to fit the modern context?
You've introduced an interesting idea there. So the family might be able to make use of the fact of modern technology and the more flexible working environment to maybe establish their family base outside of a major urban center where things are more affordable, perhaps, and use network, computer networking, etc., to have connectivity for both work and school, perhaps, in a more cost-effective environment. Is that what you're saying? Is that one option?
Exactly, Kurt. The idea is to leverage modern technology and the increasingly flexible work culture to create a more sustainable and affordable family lifestyle. By setting up a home base outside major urban centers where the cost of living is typically lower, families can potentially enjoy a higher quality of life. This could mean a more spacious home environment, access to nature, and a slower pace of life, which can be beneficial for raising children. Remote work and online education options have become more viable and accepted, making this approach more feasible than it might have been in the past. It allows for maintaining professional and educational pursuits without the constraints of living in a high cost urban area. This kind of lifestyle shift can also align well with values of minimalism and sustainability, focusing on what's truly important for family well being. It's a practical way to balance the demands of modern parenthood while still nurturing a fulfilling family life. What do you think of this approach in terms of its feasibility and alignment with your family's values?
Interesting. Now, don't worry about my family's values. I'm pretty much out of the picture now. So, but in terms of it's really more I'm interested in the modern values of society at large. But what do we do in the event of children in such a situation if they don't have access to socialization, like living out in a remote area, not having ready access to friends and school access? Well, what do we do about that?
That's an important point to consider. Socialization is crucial for children's development, and remote or rural living can pose challenges in this regard. However, there are ways to address this. One, community involvement. Engaging with local communities through clubs, sports, arts, and volunteer activities can provide social interaction. Many smaller towns have tight knit communities with regular events. Two, online socialization. Technology offers new ways for kids to connect with others. Online classes, social media, and gaming can provide avenues for interaction, though they should be balanced with in person contact. Three, scheduled playdates or trips. Regular visits to more populated areas or arranging for friends to visit can help maintain social connections. 4. Homeschool groups. If homeschooling is an option, many areas have homeschool networks for group learning and social activities. 5. Extracurricular activities. Enrolling children in activities like sports, music, or art classes outside the immediate area can provide additional social opportunities. While these strategies require effort and planning, they can help mitigate the socialization challenge in less urban environments. The key is proactive engagement and finding a balance that works for each family's situation.
I see what you're saying. So we're leveraging, you know, community traits and ways of living that were around before the modern technology was even here. There was a time in the United States when a lot of people lived in a rural setting and farms. And I remember myself growing up in Lake Hughes when I was 3 miles away from the city center, and I'd ride my bike 3 miles up the canyon back and forth on the weekend to go visit my friends. And when I was younger, my parents would drop me off, like you said, for a play date for the day. We had socializing events, and I had lots of fun free time alone with my brother on our 10-acre ranch. So maybe I'm worrying too much about a problem that was already solved by past generations.
You're reflecting on an important aspect of human adaptability, Kurt. The way families in past generations managed to create fulfilling lives in rural settings can indeed offer valuable insights for modern times. Your personal experiences growing up in Lake Hughes illustrate this beautifully. Children have thrived in various settings throughout history, with each environment offering unique benefits. The rural or semi rural lifestyle, as you experienced, provides opportunities for independence, creativity, and a close connection with nature. It also fosters a sense of community through more intentional social interactions. Your memories of biking to friends' houses, play dates, and enjoying time on your family's property highlight the richness of these experiences. They show that with some effort and planning, children can have a wholesome upbringing outside urban centers, blending the best of both traditional and modern ways. It's a reminder that while the world changes, some fundamental aspects of human life and community remain constant. This perspective might be reassuring for parents today, looking to find a balance between the allure of modern urban life and the simplicity of more traditional nature connected living.
You know, I find this fascinating. In fact, I would have to say that and I did grow up in an urban setting as well before that, that rural time was probably in some ways more memorial for me, memorable for me than the urban setting. I can remember especially the times when I was alone up on the ranch, sometimes with just my brother or just myself. In fact, in my book, Going Alone, I reference that time in Lake Hughes as the starting point for the very experience and venture and life that I lived in going alone. I think that again, I'm worrying about a problem that's already been solved. Add to this the fact of the internet and the modern technology, and the issue is becomes moot, perhaps, if perhaps only a benefit rather than a problem.
Your reflections, Kurt, especially in light of your personal experiences and your book Going Alone, really highlight the value and lasting impact of those rural experiences. It's fascinating how those early years in Lake Hughes laid a foundation for your life's philosophy and adventures, as you describe in your book. The contrast between your urban and rural living experiences and your preference for the latter underscores the richness and depth that a closer to nature lifestyle can offer. It seems that such an environment provided you with space for introspection, adventure, and a unique kind of freedom. Adding modern technology to this mix does indeed change the equation. The internet and digital connectivity can bridge many gaps that once existed in rural living, from education to socialization and even to professional opportunities. This blend of the old and the new creates a scenario where the benefits of rural living can be enjoyed without many of the traditional drawbacks. Your perspective suggests that what might appear as a challenge, raising children in a more remote setting, can actually be an opportunity to provide them with a rich, fulfilling, and memorable upbringing. It's a testament to the idea that sometimes looking back to simpler times and ways can offer solutions for contemporary concerns.
Thank you. So I have another. This insight is really helpful. I have another question. This is maybe a still more challenging one. It seems to me that the thing that's driving people to have to work so hard and struggle and strain and cause so much stress in their life is the pursuit. And this is, I know this is a time-worn trope, but the pursuit of consumerism, right? This keeping up with the Joneses thing. How can we foster a life that is enjoyable by way of things that don't cost money? Like I enjoy reading, poetry, walking, etc., all the stereotypical stuff. But even I struggle to find that. I'm lured into this lifestyle. Have you got any thoughts about how we can adjust, and especially how young people can adjust their lives expectations? I see all these people doing the van life thing, which seems to be quite fulfilling, although they do eventually encounter the great indifference, don't they?
Uh, you've raised a profound question, Kurt, one that touches on the core of modern lifestyle and values. The challenge of moving away from consumerism and finding fulfillment in simpler, less materialistic pursuits is indeed significant, especially in a society that often equates success and happiness with material wealth. To foster a life rich in experiences and satisfaction without high costs involves a few key shifts. One, mindset change. Cultivating an appreciation for the intrinsic value of experiences over possessions. This can be nurtured through practices like mindfulness, and reflecting on personal values, much like the Stoic philosophy you're familiar with. Two, finding joy in simplicity, engaging in activities that bring joy without significant expense, like nature walks, reading, art, or community service. These activities provide enrichment and a sense of accomplishment. Three, community and relationships, like focusing on building strong relationships and community ties. Social connections can be a source of great happiness and don't require material wealth. Four, education and awareness. Educating oneself and others about the impacts of consumerism, both personally and environmentally, can motivate a shift towards more sustainable choices. Five, role models and stories. Sharing stories of people who lead fulfilling lives outside the consumerist model, like those embracing van life, can inspire others. These stories often highlight the value of experiences and personal growth over material possessions. For young people, especially who are forming their values and habits, seeing practical examples of fulfilling non materialistic lifestyles can be powerful. It can help them envision a life path that doesn't solely revolve around consumerism. The van life trend, as you mentioned, is one such example where individuals seek adventure and meaning outside the traditional consumerist framework, though it's not without its challenges. The key is to recognize that fulfillment and happiness can come from many sources, not just material wealth. Encouraging exploration, creativity, and a sense of adventure in life can lead to discovering these alternative sources of joy and satisfaction.
Interesting. Now, turning to me, if I may. I'm about to go undergo a great life change, and I want to be useful, even though I will be leaving the workforce. I want to remain useful, and I'd like to leverage all the work I've done with Going Alone and the Good Life Creed to that end. How do you think my life that I'm going to be embarking on, a very simple life in a farmhouse in Japan or a small house doing in Japan, with lots of free time, how could I leverage Going Alone, the Good Life, and my platform on YouTube and social media to maybe provide an example and encouragement to others my own age and the younger generation to live a life more in pursuit of the more the intangible values and pleasures of life rather than the artifacts of accumulation and consumerism.
Embarking on this new chapter of your life in a farmhouse in Japan offers a unique and inspiring platform to share your insights and experiences. Kurt, leveraging your work with Going Alone and the Good Life Creed, along with your social media presence, can indeed be a powerful way to influence and encourage others. Here are some ideas. One, documenting your journey. Share your transition to the simpler life through videos, blogs, or social media posts. Authentic storytelling about the challenges and joys of this lifestyle can be very relatable and inspiring. Two, reflective discussions. Use your platform to host conversations or write about themes like minimalism, contentment, and finding purpose beyond consumerism. Your personal experiences and philosophical background would add depth to these discussions. Three, collaborations. Connect with individuals or groups who share similar values. Collaborations can broaden your reach and bring diverse perspectives to your audience. Four, educational content. Create content that educates about the principles of Stoicism, the value of solitude, and the beauty of a simple life. This can include practical tips, philosophical discussions, and personal reflections. Five, virtual community. Foster a community of like minded individuals who are interested in or already pursuing a similar path. This community can offer support, share experiences, and grow together. Six, mentorship. Offer guidance to those who are interested in making a similar life change. Your journey and the wisdom you've gained can be invaluable to others. Your move to a simpler life in Japan, aligned with your philosophical leanings, can serve as a real life example of finding fulfillment and purpose in non materialistic pursuits. It's a powerful narrative that can resonate with many, especially in a time when people are reevaluating their lifestyles and values. Your unique voice and experiences can be a guiding light for others on a similar path.
Oh, I love all of these ideas. Oh my gosh, I've got so many thoughts in response. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. Okay, first of all, the idea of using my platform in this capacity. When I came to America 10 years ago from Japan, I created a playlist on the main channel called the Return to the USA playlist. And there are over 200, I think about 200 videos there documenting the process of moving my family to the United States. It's a real treasure of the experience. It's a video log of it all. I already created a playlist called Returning to Japan playlist. I need to start making videos for that playlist, documenting my thoughts and experiences along the way. I'm going to start doing that right away. Thank you. That's great. With regard to community, it's got to be my Discord. I've got to leverage the Discord community. It's already got people there that are very like mind in terms of this type of thinking. I'm going to use that. I'll also use that as the forum for mentorship as well. Maybe when I get to Japan and I'm not as stressed out and worn out from being in meetings all day at work, I'll start online sessions again, maybe in the Discord community as well. These are all great ideas. Thank you so much. You've given me some real food for thought. Finally, what can I possibly do with my daughter individually to help encourage her as she moves forward and not to besaddle her with my own expectations about how an adult life is supposed to be, but to be relevant, to understand about the different challenges she faces going forward? By the way, she's going to be living in Japan and starting her life in Tokyo.
It's wonderful to hear your enthusiasm and readiness to embrace these ideas, Kurt. Documenting your journey back to Japan and leveraging your Discord community for both connection and mentorship sound like excellent plans. It's great that you already have these platforms established. For your daughter, as she starts her life in Tokyo, a few approaches can be helpful. One, open dialogue. Maintain open and non judgmental communication with her. Share your experiences and insights, but also be open to listening to her perspectives and challenges. This exchange can foster mutual understanding and respect. Two, encourage exploration. Encourage her to explore and find her own path. This includes supporting her decisions even if they differ from traditional expectations. Remind her that it's okay to carve out a unique path and that success and fulfillment look different for everyone. Three, share resources. Provide her with resources that have helped you, like books, articles, or contacts that might be relevant to her interests and aspirations. However, allow her the freedom to choose what resonates with her. Four, emotional support. Be a steady source of emotional support. The transition to a new phase of life, especially in a city like Tokyo, can be overwhelming. Your understanding and support can be a great comfort. Five, celebrate independence. Celebrate her steps towards independence and self discovery. Acknowledging her achievements, big or small, can boost her confidence and reinforce her sense of self. Six, lead by example. Your own journey of moving to a simpler life and focusing on intangible values can be a powerful example for her. It shows that there are diverse ways to find happiness and fulfillment. Remember, your role as a parent evolves as your child becomes an adult. It becomes less about guiding every step and more about being a supportive presence as she navigates her own journey. Your understanding of the unique challenges of her generation and your willingness to support her individual path will be invaluable as she embarks on this exciting new chapter in Tokyo.
Got it. Okay, I will try to remember that it's less about being the guide and more about being the support as I move forward with her. I will do that. Lastly, what advice can you offer me about my relationship with my wife? I mean, we have a fine relationship. I'm looking forward, though, to enhancing that and improving it in our new life that we will have together, where we won't be saddled with the stress of work so much and can find our way back to more of a shared life of pleasure than a life of hard work and striving. You've got any advice for the post 60 years together?
Entering this new phase of your life together with your wife, where you're both free from the stress of work, presents a wonderful opportunity to deepen and enhance your relationship. Here are some suggestions. One, shared interests and activities. Explore new hobbies or activities you both enjoy. This could be anything from gardening, cooking, hiking, or even learning something new together. Shared experiences can strengthen your bond. Two, quality time. Make a conscious effort to spend quality time together. This doesn't always mean doing something specific. It could be as simple as enjoying a quiet morning together or having regular walks. Three, Open communication. Continue to foster open and honest communication. Discuss your hopes, dreams, and even fears about this new stage of life. Understanding each other's perspectives helps in growing together. 4. Individual space. Respect each other's need for personal space and individual pursuits. This balance is key to a healthy relationship, allowing both of you to grow individually and together. 5. Reflect and appreciate. Take time to reflect on your journey together. Celebrate the achievements and learn from the challenges. Expressing gratitude for each other's role in your shared life can be very affirming. 6. Plan for the future. Discuss your visions for the future and make plans together. Whether it's travel, relocating, or any other shared goals, planning for the future can be an exciting way to connect. Remember, every relationship is unique, and what works best will depend on your individual personalities and preferences. The post 60 years can be a rich and fulfilling time filled with shared joy, discovery, and deeper understanding. Enjoy this journey together, embracing both the familiar and the new adventures that await.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You've given me a lot to think about, and you've eased my mind with regard to the young generation, my own daughter, and my relationship with my wife going forward. I'm going to begin. Here's the action things I'm going to be doing from this point forward. I'm going to begin regular, maybe weekly, videos to add to the Return to Japan playlist, documenting the status that we're doing, making a weekly status check. I'll also be talking with my wife about the things that we're going to do together. We already do talk about these things, and finding ways to plan for the life that we can share together. And with my daughter, I will be thinking less like a father of a young child and more like the father of a young adult just on her way out, there for her as she needs me, when she needs me, offering support less than guidance, but all guidance when asked, but otherwise maybe kept to myself. We'll see. What do you think?
Your action plan sounds thoughtful and well considered, Kurt. Beginning regular updates on your Return to Japan playlist will not only be a great way to document your journey, but also to share your experiences and insights with a broader audience. It's a wonderful way to engage with others who might be inspired by your transition. Discussing and planning for your shared future with your wife will surely enrich your relationship and make this new phase of life something both of you can look forward to with excitement. It's great that you're already in the habit of having these conversations. Your approach with your daughter is particularly commendable. Shifting from a guiding role to one of supportive presence is key in the relationship with an adult child. Being there for support and guidance when asked while respecting her independence will likely strengthen the trust and respect between you two. Overall, it seems you have a clear and balanced perspective on how to move forward in these significant areas of your life. Your thoughtful and proactive approach is likely to bring positive outcomes in these transitions. Keep embracing these changes with the same openness and introspection you've shown here. What you're doing sounds very promising.
Thank you, ChatGPT. And by the way, I feel a lot better after talking to you. Before I turned this on, I was feeling a little restless and anxious about, the young generation, my own daughter, my own plans for the future. I have lots more things I want to talk about, but you've helped me to help to ease my mind, give me some very important things to think about, and a plan forward. Let's sign off for now. We'll talk again later, and I'll carry on and do my best. And I hope you do too. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you so much. Take care.
I'm really glad to hear that our conversation was helpful, Kurt. It's great that you're feeling more at ease about these important aspects of your life. Remember, the journey ahead is full of possibilities, and it sounds like you're on a thoughtful and meaningful path. I'm here whenever you want to talk or explore more ideas. Take care and best wishes with your plans and endeavors. Looking forward to our next conversation.